Paolo Lodomatica in Rome, Italy. Welcome to NBA Europe Live 2007. It is the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors. The Raptors looking to build on that breakout season. The Celtics looking to break through with a new look. With Tim Capstraw, I'm Dave Johnson. And indeed, what an icebreaker we have here to the start of the preseason.
Now, Dave, what a great opportunity to be able to view Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce in their first time playing together. That's going to be a whole lot of fun, be incredibly enjoyable against a Toronto Raptor team with Andrea Bargnani coming home right now. Chris Bosh, great season, and the Atlantic Division champions. This is a great matchup.
Yeah, the Raptors might feel right at home playing at Paolo Lodomatica in Rome, Italy. And yes, we're excited to unveil this new look Boston Celtics team. But we do have some good news to pass along to you. Certainly a concern about Monte Ellis. What a terrific year he had last year with the Golden State Warriors. Now they tell us this is an injury that happened to practice in Hawaii. He was motionless on the court for about 45 minutes, but now team officials saying the test coming back as normal. The injury now being diagnosed as a neck sprain, and apparently he's been up walking and laughing. So it's very good news to report to you from the Golden State Warriors, a story we have been following. So we'll continue to cross our fingers, and nice to know he's now listed as day today, and of course eager to get back to practice. And we are very much eager to get to this game this afternoon between the Celtics and Raptors. And yes, the focus on the Celtics, and we all want to see how this is going to work with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce playing together.
It's going to be just so much fun to see what they have. You know, just not together, but how the other players, Rondo especially at the point guard, how they mesh with the big three.
All right, we're getting set for 2008 season. We've got this preseason icebreaker for you. The Celtics and Toronto Raptors coming from Rome. It is NBA Europe Live 2007. We're back in just a moment. Dave Johnson, Tim Capstraw back as we get set. NBA Europe Live 2007 for the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors. So eager, I know it's only preseason, but so eager to see this one as the Celtics renewed sense of optimism after that 24-win season as they've remodeled their team. The Raptors, of course, trying to build on that great turnaround, the Atlantic Division champions. And now, the lineups for the two teams from Rome, Italy.
Numero 0, Leo Bow. Numero 4, number 4, Jackie Manuel. Numero 8, number 8, Brandon Wallace. Numero 11, number 11, Glenn Davis. Numero 12, number 12, Danny Jones. Numero 13, number 13, Gabe Pruitt. Numero 41, number 41, Jay Mosley. Numero 42, number 42, Tony Allen. Numero 44, number 44, Brian Scalabrine. Numero 50, number 50, Eddie
Getting closer and closer, Celtics and Raptors from Rome, NBA Europe Live, 2007 from Palo Alto Matica. And again, so we take a look at our starting lineup presented by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. A great chance to see some new players for both teams, as indeed we talk so much about the Celtics with, of course, Kevin Garnett starting in there, and along with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, and Kendrick Perkins, the starting lineup for the Boston Celtics. The Toronto Raptors.
And we like to thank you on behalf of the Boston Celtics, and we hope you guys enjoy the show. Thank you.
Grazie, Paul Pierce.
The smile of Paul Pierce, that works in any language. The starting lineup for the Toronto Raptors, T.J. Ford, Anthony Parker, Jason Capono getting a start along with Chris Bosh. And, of course, the hometown hero, Andrea Bargnani. For the Raptors of Sam Mitchell, one-time teammate of Kevin Garnett, something we're going to be talking about this afternoon. So the Raptors with Jason Capono getting in the starting lineup. So right away, they're going to unveil one of their new signings from Miami.
Yeah, just right out of the get-go, going to give him a look. I mean, he was a big signing in the offseason, a guy that can shoot the ball. Heck, he led the NBA in three-point shooting last year, Capono did, and Sam Mitchell right there. Dave, you just alluded to the fact that this thought it was interesting. I forgot about that he and Kevin Garnett were teammates with the Minnesota Timberwolves from 1995 all the way to 2001. And you know, Sam Mitchell actually kind of took Kevin Garnett under his wing when he came originally, obviously, from high school to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it's a nice story to see how the feeling between these two guys. Now, they're obviously going to be going against each other this afternoon, but obviously a positive feeling between the two.
Well, credit Sam Mitchell for something, because, again, Kevin Garnett, 9 straight years, the 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. And we've talked so much about how's this going to work. One basketball, the 3 great stars, but everyone keeps telling me, but look, Garnett is so unselfish, and that could be a big key.
Well, he's such a glue guy. He always plays with so much passion and energy, and he doesn't have to get himself 25 or 30 points to score the ball. And it's going to be interesting, you know, how is Doc Rivers going to mesh like a Ray Allen? And is he going to be a go-to guy? They're going to play through Paul Pierce, who for years has been their hub of their offense, the guy that really was the guy that engineered most of their plays. How is it all going to fit? And this is as interesting a preseason game as I've ever been associated with.
Well, that's what I said. What an icebreaker. And the Raptors want to show it there for real, that they weren't just some comet that came out of nowhere last season.
Well, and they feel like they've been disrespected. You know, everybody's talking about the Celtics, maybe a little bit about the Nets, and they're trying to remind everybody, hey, we're the Atlantic Division champions last year. We're here to defend our crown.
Raptors, of course, in the white, the Celtics in the green, and right away, the Celtics off the tip going to get a chance to go to the foul line. We saw Dick Venna in the middle there. Is Paul Pierce for the Celtics. We get a chance to go to the foul line as Jason Capono with the foul, and well, Pierce a chance to earn it for the charity stripe.
Well, when you got Kevin Garnett jumping center, you can run jump ball plays, and you can look for quick hitters to start the game. And right away, the ball was tipped to Pierce on a great angle to the basket. And he has a great knack for getting right here to the free throw line. Traditionally, over the last since he's entered the league, has been one of the leading foul shooters in attempts each season.
And he wants to stay healthy this year. Such a durable player, and such a surprise, no doubt, to him last year that he was limited after 6 straight seasons, almost 80 games a season, and last year the elbow and the foot problems.
Well, he wants to be healthy, but think about how Doc Rivers feels. I mean, when he was out of the lineup, it was not pretty for the Boston Celtics last season.
Bargnani with the ball. He'll no doubt get a lot of reaction today. T.J. Ford on the drive, and he's going to the line.
One of the most difficult plays to defend in the NBA right now is T.J. Ford, and when he turns the corner, because he can just accelerate and make plays, and he's such a confident player right now. Again, knew enough to get his body into Rondo right there, absorb so a little bit of contact, put some pressure on the officials, and then right to the line.
Rajon Rondo, speaking of pressure, a lot of pressure on him as he takes over that mantle of the starting point guard with the Celtics.
Absolutely, running the show with those 3 stars, along with Kendrick Perkins, but Rondo has to be the catalyst, the guy that kind of sets up everybody. We know about his defense, and he is terrific on the defensive side, but it's right here in his organization of the offense. It's going to be huge.
Garnett, well, what a cheer he got as he was introduced. Good ball movement from the Celtics. A nice finish as well.
If Rondo's going to make jump shots, because he's going to get an awful lot of looks. Think about all the attention you have to give other guys on the floor. He's going to be the guy that's going to be open in a lot of the rotations that the opposition is providing. Also in late games, he's going to have to make some of those shots.
Bosh denied, but now Ford. Raptors such a perimeter team. Last year only averaged about 35 points in the paint per game. They'll shoot it from the outside and shoot it well. Bosh, nice rebound.
Doc Rivers talking about Rondo in summer. We talked about his ability to make decisions in the paint, and that was the right decision there to try to finish that play.
Bosh trying to finish that play. Instead, the other way.
Some similarities in Bosh and Garnett's games in that they both really love that high post elbow area.
Garnett working on Bosh. Nice.
You can just hear the fans in Boston saying, what an option that is.
Suddenly the clam chowder tastes better today.
Wow.
This is Parker. What a season he had last year for the Raptors.
So many of the Raptor players have been members of the EuroLeague and spent time playing in Italy. All those guys got a big round of applause.
It must feel like a home game for some of the Raptors, so experienced to playing in Europe. Parker, another great story, spent 6 seasons overseas before looks like finding a home in Toronto.
Bargnani, obviously the big story this week, though.
Oh, nice feed by Rondo to Perkins. And the two guys maybe not getting much of the focus in that starting five in the spotlight there.
Again, quick decision-making, though, by Rondo that time. Got it. Located Kendrick Perkins. I mean, an easy delivery. This is the side of the floor Boston wants to be concerned about. Are they going to defend?
In his hometown. What else would you expect?
Andrea Bargnani off the pick and pop. He is so valuable, so effective. There's some talk about it. Maybe, you know, is he going to start this year? Or is he going to be that guy off the bench? Well, Sam Mitchell knew better than to not start him in this game coming home.
Oh, Kevin Garnett. He had a step. Give him a step. He knows what to do with it.
Oh, facing up on Bargnani and the quickness. Oh, baby. Well, he's not wasting any time letting the Boston faithful know how important and what a star he is. You can't. You don't guard him tight enough, he can shoot the ball. You get up into him, he's got great quicks. And he always brings it.
Celtics with the early 11-5 lead. So much of the story of this game is players for both teams coming back from injury. And I look at TJ Ford. Now, he's clearly back now, but you think of the days when you wondered if he would ever play again. As Bargnani trying to finish at the other end. He's drawn the foul.
You like that attitude and approach. I mean, on the other side, Garnett took it to him. The terrific ball reversal that time. The swing to Parker, the quick kick to Bargnani. You know, people are wondering, he's got a little bit more toughness to his game than you think, Bargnani. You think of him as such a good perimeter shooter. But as the season went on last year, he began to develop a little bit of a low post game. He certainly has the ability to put on the deck and attack the basket. He just did right there.
Kendrick Perkins a foul. Well, part of that, the transition, though, not just to the NBA game, because it is a different game.
Exactly. You forget how young he is, Bargnani. I mean, gee. Homecoming for him. Good feeling in the crowd, tremendous ovation. But, you know, his personality is kind of a low-key guy. He's not kind of one of those guys that relishes the spotlight. Sam Mitchell and company were talking about, that's the good side of him, too. He doesn't get too high or too low.
Reason to be high today. They picked up the option on third year of his contract. What a feed to Rondo. But Bosh was able to come off the rebound.
Love the pick and pop, pick and roll game.
Bargnani. Seems like he likes this arena.
Comfortable. Comfortable environment for Andrea Bargnani.
Played for Benetton Treviso before he came to the NBA. And offensive foul called against the Celtics.
The Raptors can put so much pressure on your defense, your rotations. Again, they love the pick and pop game, pick and roll, drive and kick. And they put 5 guys on the floor that can finish plays and make shots.
Ford to Bosh. That'll be a combination you'll hear a few times this season.
Pick and roll, good decision that time. Rotations of the Celtics a little bit slow. Some offense here. Well, you don't have the benefit of the scouting reports as you do as the season goes on. Got to close out and Ray Allen. Good job by Bargnani anticipating. The hands out.
Yeah. Now Parker in transition, but wasn't watching behind.
Well, that's Rondo. That's what he does better than almost anybody in the NBA. He kicks it up the court. You just count that when you get Ray Allen open like that. But credit Rondo with the steal and the delivery. You better take care of the basketball when he's around. He's certainly a quality defensive player with great hands.
Close to 2 steals a game last year for the Celtics. Bosch, and he's drawn the foul on Perkins, to Perkins' frustration.
But here's Bosch and his ability. There are some similarities. Obviously, Garnett and Bosch are, right-handed and left-handed, but Bargnani did a great job on that, right? Knowing that it was going to be ball reversal, came out with a wide stance and the arm out, knowing that the swing of the ball was coming. But in one guy, Bosch is, Bosch a lefty, Garnett a righty, but they have some similar moves. Again, they can make the shot. They like to utilize the up and under moves.
Bosch missing the free throw again. 69 games last year. One of the players we're talking about coming off injury, had the foot injury last season.
Well, and then this summer he had to leave Team USA, right? He was out in Las Vegas and his heels started bothering him. They're on the side of caution and came on home. Boy, last season was a season of just so many injuries. I mean, the pressure on players, pressure on trainers right now. I mean, there's a lot of guys right now that are coming off injuries, ACLs, plantar fasciitis, heel problems. This guy, Pierce, had injury issues. That's what Pierce loves it, though, right? That high elbow, that curl cut.
Bargnani, the ball fake, but into traffic.
Help defense by Leon Poe that time.
Rondo, he's gone nowhere on this one.
Shot by Bargnani.
Yeah, digging it out.
Defensively. Some hands to start this game.
Ray Allen was trying to find Garnett. Credit Parker for getting up on that deflection, and he may get the reward. He does.
Excellent job defensively. Both of these teams trying to put their focus in training camp on the defensive side of the floor. They have offensive firepower, but both know they need to improve on that side. So you see the effort and intensity on display defensively early. At least in the last couple possessions.
Ray Allen looking to create. You mentioned Leon Poe now in the game for the Celtics. Capono, that's his office.
It sure is. He could shoot the ball so comfortably from behind the arc. And credit TJ Ford getting up, pushing the pace, and the transition defense has got to locate Jason Capono.
And the result, the Raptors take the lead.
Two of the best shooters in the NBA matched up with each other, Jason Capono and Ray Allen.
We'll get a foul called on Capono. Breaking the action, 15-13. Raptors have now taken the lead on the Celtics from Rome. Take a look at some of the numbers early on from this game. As both teams coming out with a lot of energy and a lot of intensity. As a result, we've had to go back and forth with the Raptors now taking the lead on the Celtics 15-13. You know, NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports, continues later as the Timberwolves play Efes Pilsen from Istanbul, Turkey. The action begins at 5:30 Eastern. You can log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA Europe Live 2007. Timberwolves, the Raptors, Memphis Grizzlies, and Boston Celtics conduct training camps in Europe. NBA.com presenting you the behind-the-scenes access and player blogs. That'd be player blogs they're presenting you from around the world. Not sure a player blog would help you in any way, but a blog. It's this new stuff, this blogging. They're pretty hot right now. A lot of blogging going on, a lot of good basketball as we lift the lid on both the Celtics and Raptors this afternoon.
I think what a great initial impression both of these teams have made as far as energy. You used that term, and you are so right. They are here. They are pumped up to play a ball game.
See, Tony Allen has checked in for the Celtics as he inbounded the ball before he went to break. It was a foul by Jason Capono. We have another foul, this time on Bargnani. That's his second foul. So Tony Allen, one of the players, he's coming back from an injury, shut down his season when it was going so well for him.
Yeah, he was playing at a very high level, putting up good numbers. And remember, it was an uncontested layup. I mean, I've seen injuries happen, but very rarely on like an uncontested breakaway, and then Tony Allen goes down and season-ending injury, and you see the big brace on his knee.
Rondo with the drive, partially blocked by Bosch. And Bosch, in the end, cleans it up. Tough to drive on those long arms of Bosch. Ford. Bosch the finish.
The early decision-making of TJ Ford. He's made some good moves, getting into the paint. He's keeping guys happy around the perimeter. He's got Capono a shot. He got his stud Bosch a shot in that play. There's going to be a lot of controversy. They've got some luxury, Toronto, with their point guard situation with both Calderon and TJ Ford.
This is Tony Allen. He can stick it. That one a little short. Bosch comes up with a rebound.
Good job by Capono that time, staying down and then challenging that shot of Tony Allen. This TJ Ford, he gets going downhill. He's so hard to keep in front.
Spread the floor, Bosch. Capono. Ford shows his touch.
Excellent job again. And perimeter shooting ability. They did it last year. Now they've added, well, TJ Ford makes shots. And again, Capono draws a lot of attention in the rotations defensively. Good ball movement right there. Pope can make a play.
Allen looking to create steady travels, and as you said, it was set up by good ball movement. They really worked it around well, and Allen, unfortunately, taking a step.
Well, a point of emphasis this year, and it certainly was last year, is keeping that pivot foot down and making sure the ball is released out in front of you prior to you advancing, lifting up your back pivot foot. And Dick Pavetta, obviously, right on top of that. Garbajosa in the game right now, certainly a popular player along with Calderon at the point for the Raptors. Starovich right here with the ball. Wholesale changes for the Raptors.
Garbajosa trying to open his European account. Starovich, nice job to keep it in play. Capono, don't pay attention to him. Now he tries to create his own shot. Didn't work. Garnett starts the break. Paul Pierce, no doubt to energize Pierce with his new teammates. Garnett, one of them missing.
Well, you see some confusion on some of the offensive possessions right now. Some guys just not quite sure where they're supposed to be as Joey Graham tries to knock down a shot. Eddie House right here advancing the ball. Boy, Doc Rivers, Sam Mitchell, they've got to look at a lot of different guys. It's some key decisions to be made to trim down their rosters, but really to see where guys fit in along the playing group.
Turnover there, and you mentioned that touch. I just saw Eddie House in the ball. They're trying to figure out who's going to back up Rajon Rondo. How's that point guard situation going to work out for Boston?
Yeah, I think that's a key one. I mean, as you look at Tony Allen, he can play a bit of point guard. Gabe Pruitt, a guy that hurt his ankle a little bit this week, to see if he gets an opportunity. But and Eddie House, I mean, I saw him last year work for the Nets, and I don't know that he's a backup point guard. So that could be an area of concern for Danny Ainge and company as they evaluate some maybe future acquisitions.
We know this guy's a backup point. Calderon taking the shot.
Yeah, one of the best. He does. He's really a starting point guard in a backup role. He is talented.
Pierce, he's talented. Showed it there.
Score with anybody in the NBA. That guy, Paul Pierce, has a knack.
Again, such an incredible story. He thought his days in Boston were numbered. Instead,
he said, "Hey, you got to get me some players to play with," and he certainly abided.
Graham, nice move. Allen now on the break for the Celtics. House can shoot this three, and he can make it.
That's why he's in the NBA, that guy, Eddie House. His ability to shoot the basketball.
43% beyond the arc last year, close to it.
And he knows what his role is when he enters a game. I guarantee you that, Dave. He knows what his job is as Calderon. He can do that very effectively. The combination with Calderon is exceptional quickness, can blow by you, and then he combines that with a soft jump shot from the perimeter.
Times it seems like the Raptors have 6 scoring options on the floor.
Again, both teams have to focus on the defensive side, though, to take it to the next level.
Pierce got a step. No help defense there.
Now, he just took it all the way to the basket. Rotations were late. And Paul Pierce can kind of just glide and he'll slow the game down to his pace and just negotiate ways to get the ball on the rim and in the basket.
Delfino's in the game, coming over, of course, from Detroit. Garbajosa.
The teams are shooting in midseason form from the perimeter right now.
It's interesting, both Garbajosa and Bargnani from outside. It's like welcome home. Garbajosa, of course, from Spain, but he played in Italy.
Yeah, the introductions, the popularity of these Raptor players, because the familiarity with watching these guys play.
Oh, Garnett. Fadeaway didn't go.
Joey Graham evaluating right there. It's a high screen and roll game they love. Good look by Calderon.
Stervich.
There's a lot of space, though, a lot of guys. I mean, again, you don't have scouting reports right now, but I'm sure Doc Rivers is going to say, along with Sam Mitchell, hey, let's get out and make sure we're challenging shots right now, because not a lot of contested jump shots, a lot of shots going down.
Here's shot contested. Will stay with Boston, as Delfino could not bring it in. It picked up from the Pistons in a trade that sent a couple of second-round picks to Detroit. He was just kind of lost in the shuffle. Detroit looking for a home in Toronto. We're coming back to Rome, Italy in just a moment. Dave Johnson, Tim Capstraw back with the Celtics and Toronto Raptors NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports from Paolo Lottamatica in Rome, Italy. And the Raptors now on top of the Celtics, but preseason game, but both teams coming out, and there was a lot of intensity early on in this one, as these teams no doubt eager to get this preseason going.
Yeah, they want to play. They want to play games, and also you see the intent. Just the crowd is into it. I mean, there's 10,500 people here. They're fired up. They're into the game, and these guys want to play. They want to put on a good show, and they want to compete.
11,000, a sellout crowd. And they are certainly into it. Get reports about the sales of the NBA merchandise up 40% in the last year in Europe.
Just think about NBA basketball and how many European players that day. I mean, 50. The European. There's 52 players from Europe in the NBA right now.
Not all of them the Toronto Raptors. It only seems that way sometimes. Get the Raptors in the white jerseys. And speaking of which, one of their Europeans, Jose Calderon, with a jumper at the buzzer that doesn't go. But the Raptors with the advantage, 27-20 on top of the Boston Celtics at the end of one quarter of play. In Rome, Italy, we're back with more NBA Europe Live 2007. NBA Europe Live 2007, celebration of basketball in Rome, Italy. As we continue with the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors, look at Jorge Garbajosa, who just exploded onto the scene with the Toronto Raptors. And as he looks at those green jerseys, probably a tough memory as he injured in a game last year against the Celtics. We just saw James Posey. I know you want to make a point about him, Tim, because key acquisition.
Well, I think that Posey has to do for the Celtics what Garbajosa did for the Raptors. You talk about glue guys. I mean, what can they do? And you talk about the talent of the Celtics with the big three. Well, they need some help and some experience on the bench. Their 4 through 12 is not as strong as it should be, or to really contend for a title. But Posey is a guy that can play multiple positions, understands defense, and you sense that Danny Ainge, Doc Rivers, and company brought in a lot of some defensive-minded guys, so that their second unit could do a better job on that side of the floor. But Garbajosa, Posey, similar in their glue type of guys you want.
Joey Graham trying to work from the post. Delfino knifing through.
A lot of bodies on the wings for the Raptors, huh? Noah's Ark on the 2 and 3, right? 2 of everything. They got a lot of wing players that
they can score.
And Sam Mitchell's got to make some decisions, but as he said in the paper, it's not my job to keep them happy. It's their job to keep me happy. Good defense by Delfino.
Ray Allen can keep Boston Celtics fans happy.
Not quite good enough, though. as Ray Allen, boy, he just kind of mesmerized Delfino that time and turned the corner all the way through. And again, we talked about it earlier, these teams got to help out their rotation on the defensive side. Can't be too easy getting all the way to the rim.
Calderon going to work.
Again.
Nicely done. He had a step, and looks like Posey will get called for the foul.
Too many guys worried about their man and not the basketball right now on both sides of the floor, and guys are able to turn the corner and get all the way to the basket. The off-ball posture, you've got to see ball, see man, you got to be ready to rotate, you just got to kind of all work together on a string, and neither team, you can tell it's early in training camp, and maybe some training camp legs on the defensive side. About 5-6 days in, you've had a lot of double sessions, a lot of travel for both of these teams, and got to make sure they have it, though, on the defensive side. It is certainly the point of emphasis.
Well, it's been a busy training camp for both these teams because obviously different environment. For the Boston Celtics, Doc Rivers said, well, this is not Vermont anymore, where his first training camp was about 3 years ago.
There's Eddie House at the point guard. He's getting a look.
Ray Allen has a look that doesn't fall.
It's played by Delfino. An advantage.
It's part of Delfino's game. He's just so active out there. Garbajosa gets called for traveling by Violet Palmer. Get James Posey involved in making it happen.
And Ray Allen rotating over, the experience that time, seeing the play develop, utilizing the quick hands, surprising Garbajosa. And again, here's House, and this is a big experiment for Boston right now. Who exactly is going to play this backup point guard position? I mean, they have concerns about Rondo being young.
Posey from the wing doesn't go. Again, yeah, Rondo kind of getting that position by attrition, if you will, but he wants to prove that he really belongs in the starting role.
You would think that they would complement, though, a Rondo with maybe a real experienced guy that's been around the block, and they really don't have that.
To mentor him a little bit as well.
Well, Ray Allen is served as that, but it's just a little bit different when you have not only a guy to communicate with, though, Dave, but also a guy that can replace you and do what you're talking about.
Nice feed underneath for Nesterovic. That was a great pass by Garbajosa.
Not enough talked about the unselfishness of this Raptor team and how quickly and decisively they move the basketball. Delfino being a little too overzealous defending Ray Allen, trying to deny him the basketball.
Kevin Garnett coming back in for Brian Scalabrine. So Doc Rivers getting a good look at his new big names.
Well, you know Garnett, he's not one of these guys just wants to come and put in a few minutes. Every time he puts on a uniform, he is just ready to play and wants to be involved. I play through him all the time, every possession. Give him some looks. The defense work.
Into the corner for House.
How's
That's
Eddie?
like his house.
Exactly. And Eddie House says, I'd be perfect with the big three right here. Because if I can be that guy, now again, we said he's not a point guard, but if he's not turning the ball over, what a weapon he would be.
And another one that can score.
Yep, that's what I mean. Because he'll get a ton of looks.
Garbajosa getting that good pass from Garbajosa. Found Delfino. Garbajosa, that's going to be a little bit ambitious, but he had to get it off the shot clock.
How much can Ray Allen help in the backcourt? Can he, provide some stability? Maybe take some possessions off of for a point guard. Good look by Garnett again.
Boy, House, he could add years to his career with these guys.
Eddie House, give me the ball. It's his third one. He's knocked down from that left corner area.
No, and Garnett knows you double team him, he's going to find you.
He's got not only unselfish, but he's got the vision factor. He can see over everybody.
The whistle gets the Celtics. Raptors in the lead, 34-27. In this preseason opener, NBA Europe Live 2007. We're coming back to Rome, Italy in just a moment. Sunday on ESPN2, the Toronto Raptors taking on Lodomatica Roma live from Rome as part of NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports. That action begins at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA Europe Live 2007. The mayor of Rome apparently is a huge Lodomatica Roma fan. He took, in fact, I think Danny Ainge and some of the Celtics last week to their first game for Lodomatica Roma, and he says, now I'm not the mayor when I'm here. And apparently he just goes crazy as a fan. So he's probably there today, and no doubt he'll be there tomorrow as well. The Celtics, of course, in the green, and the Raptors in the white as we continue with this preseason icebreaker, we'll call it. What a way to get it going. Two teams that could be battling for the Atlantic Division crown, and Carlos Delfino trying to make himself feel at home in his new team.
I think, again, confusion on the defensive side, and that's all those. There'll be a little film watched by both of these teams because that was just a wide open jump shot. It's going to happen no early with this. This is what you want to see.
They're cheering in Boston. I can hear them.
Unstoppable. I think the Celtics got to have a rule up the floor. If you go 2 possessions without him touching the basketball, you're out of the game.
Out of the game.
Give me another 4 guys to play with him.
Be a good training camp drill.
Well, because you can play through him. He'll pass it out. Just make sure he touches it.
See that good Raptors ball movement. And he'll get a loose ball foul in the Celtics as Graham had position going for the rebound. And Joey Graham, a valuable role player for the Raptors coming off the bench.
Another one of those wings. Kind of the guy that's got to prove something, though. He's in his 3rd year. He's been a bit of a blind date. You know, you don't know what you're getting with him. He's been very up and down. Certainly wants to make impact. Perkins back in the game. Got those 2 quick fouls. Sat for a while. Can't be worried so much about fouls in the preseason, though, now. You got to get guys in shape and get them ready.
Calderon losing it. And Perkins, we just saw him coming in with a clean-shaven look. And, of course, Paul Pierce and Rajon Rondo wanting to be like Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. So what is the Celtics starting 5 right now, all going with the same look?
Again, the shaved head thing. Michael Jordan put Cy Sperling out of business, didn't he? The hair club for men has never been the same.
Never quite thought of it that way.
You know what you're dealing with here.
Delfino on the rebound and the feed to Graham, flying through Garnett, but also Pierce was there. One of them was going to get whistled.
The excitement. Delfino really thrives in the open floors. It kind of likes to attack the basket. That time a good decision with the kick up. Joey Graham can run, and he is athletic.
Sam Mitchell, of course, the NBA Coach of the Year, deservedly so. When you talk about just turning that team around last year, and they got off to a slow start, I think people forget as well.
He did just a great job keeping it together. He's a guy that I appreciate. He's so much fun to read his quotes. I mean, he speaks his mind. And again, he was an ex-teammate of Kevin Garnett, a mentor to him as Garnett entered the NBA.
Graham coming up with a nice steal, and again, you gotta know he's thinking he wants to show Sam Mitchell, hey, I deserve some time on the floor.
A lot to prove. Again, these wing positions of the Raptors, there's a lot of depth between Delfino, Capono, Anthony Parker, and Joey Graham. Well, he checked for Eddie House as he was feeling it, making shots. He has not hurt them at the point guard position, but he's really helped with his shooting ability.
Able to make it from the corner, but this time from top of the arc, not the same success as a good effort for Joey Graham in his time in there for Sam Mitchell's Toronto Raptors. And now Rajon Rondo again, adding to the clean-shaven look. Right now, which put in as the Celtics starting point guard on their depth chart. Getting back into the game. And we're going to whistle against the Celtics, so we'll go the other way.
Again, the execution and timing that takes time during a preseason, evident in that possession as the screens were in set. See Luke Jackson inbound to Calderon. With a high screen and roll, this Calderon, he would help defense.
Runner by Jackson. Garnett, boy, that wingspan gets up there.
Amazing.
Pierce to Rondo, they working it. Oh, shovel it back outside. Ray Allen trying to finish. Oh, no, look pass by Garnett, hang on. The finish by Perkins.
How about that possession? for the display of passing ability, especially by Kevin Garnett. Initially with behind the back, and then he did another one.
And then Perkins energized after the dunk with a block on Nesterovic.
When your star player is an unselfish player, good things can happen for a team. And you see that Garnett ignited that possession with his passing and then finished it off with another beautiful pass.
It's only preseason, but you can put that on the end of season highlight tape, I think.
Exactly. Excellent basketball going on in an entertaining exhibition game we have here in Rome.
14-26. Dave Johnson, Tim Capstraw back. As you look at the numbers from this one, the Raptors, you can tell, shooting the ball pretty well right now, right around 50%.
Well, they're moving the basketball. They're getting good looks, some unchallenged shots, and that's what they did so well in the NBA last year, Dave. And hey, we've been entertained by both teams so far. I mean, last couple possessions by the Celtics were as enjoyable plays as we've seen in all of last season. Again, good look from an out-of-bounds play. And
Delfino able to finish it. Yeah, we just saw just a wonderful play with Garnett, the assist to Perkins.
And again, that goes to my theory. You got to give him touches every time down because of his passing ability and his willingness to be a great passer.
And he's a pretty good shooter as well, but this time Rondo getting there for the rebound, kind of forced the pass there.
Rondo's one of those guys, though, that could be, you know, almost in the Jason Kidd mode of the ability to get some triple doubles in his career. There's a lot of little things. Confusion. Can they get reorganized?
Well, they got to hurry. Shot clock winding down. Rondo's going to have to create on his own. Now he did, just didn't finish.
Hey, you know, in that type of situation, there was pressure on him to make a play with the clock winding down. That was the right decision. And decision-making in the paint is what Doc Rivers has talked about with Rondo. Would be able to do that is Luke Jackson.
A turnover for him.
You see so many guys do that. They slide their feet. They kind of like shuffle their feet back on the catch. You step out of bounds. Going to know where you are. He has been fun to watch, Garnett.
Well, the Raptors with the lead, but indeed, you look at Garnett, you look at Pierce, you look at Ray Allen. You got guys, yes, they're not past their past due date. They've got a lot of good basketball to offer, and Ray Allen's actually coming off a career high in points per game. You know, Garnett is just looking for a chance to get a run at the title, and maybe he'll find success through the Eastern Conference.
He looks like he's having fun.
Opened up the veins, and he's passing the ball as well.
How about that combination, huh?
Garnett to Allen, you think we'll see that at all?
Oh, wow. Double off, and those guys working together. Inside-out basketball, two of the most talented players in the NBA with that combination.
Bargnani's back in, but his shot not like it was before.
Ray Allen always looks so under control, so smooth. The guy that can play wearing a tuxedo. You know, it's kind of the way, it's kind of regal. There's a regalness about him.
And dress shoes, no less.
Yes.
Bosh tried to make something out of it, even though he didn't have control of it. This is, again, good ball movement by the Celtics. This Garnett, though, denied nicely by Bosh. There's an Atlantic Division matchup that rather tantalizing.
Yeah, we're seeing a whole lot of that. Good effort by Jackson, keeping it alive. Bargnani.
Well, he tried to go strong to the hole, but didn't get the foul.
Some conditioning. See how tired guys are right now. You always think about it at the end of the game, but end of second quarters is a time where Doc Rivers and the coach really evaluate what kind of shape guys are in right now. And again, those training camp legs, a lot of practices.
Delfino getting whistled for the foul from behind. No doubt Doc Rivers was anxious about seeing this team come together in a game situation, and I think, as you touched on, he's got to be encouraged early on.
Well, both coaches. I think the ball movement has been excellent. They really moved it well, and they're both potent on the offensive end. Got to give different guys looks, but you got to get your stars in shape also. Another good look.
Rondo gets it, and a great distribution from Pierce.
Excellent. Again, I think Celtics have done a very good job of just locating the open man, and if Rondo can make that shot, now he doesn't have to be a deep three shooter, but that was about a 14-footer off the wing, along the baseline. Any shot like that comes to him, he can knock that down consistently, he'll get a lot of looks. And again, there's the travel, the emphasis.
So Bosch getting called for the travel. Sam Mitchell's Raptors on top right now. The Celtics 40-36 NBA Europe Live 2007. What a way to come back. Kevin Garnett. Now you look at the numbers from this game as we come back with that Garnett exclamation mark as the Celtics starting to offensively find it as well.
They sure are. They're starting to move that basketball. They're playing through Kevin Garnett more. We saw the combination of Garnett and Ray Allen. Rondo's played very, very solid. Eddie House, when he came in the game, made shots. And we talked about it, during the break. Both these teams, I mean, if you're a fan of either one of these, you've got to be excited. I mean, the Toronto Raptors are legit. I mean, they are fun to watch. And you look at the Celtics. How do you not enjoy watching it? And this is exhibition game 1. Maybe they're not executing, but look at this. Just a great look at Perkins with all the help that Garnett's is going to be. He can camp out on the weak side, wedge in, be strong. A lot to be excited about if you're any one of these guys. Is Dick Bavetta can display a foul better than anybody in the NBA. Well, he puts on a good show.
We've always thought he was global. Kendrick Perkins will go to line. Bargnani the foul, but no, I think you're absolutely right, and that's why this matchup, this has been waited for. Not I think just by NBA fans in general for the last week or so, knowing that hey, this is coming up, and we're going to see how this all comes to play. And the Raptors they were a treat last year, just an offensive show, and a team that wants to prove that yeah, they're actually did have a breakthrough season, and they're building on it. As Chris Humphries will come in for Bargnani after he got that foul.
Yeah, you talk about all the players, the acquisitions. I thought a good acquisition by the Celtics was an assistant coach with a tremendous defensive reputation named Tom Thibodeau. I think he's a guy, and Doc Rivers is so comfortable in his skin and allows guys the freedom to really help him and be a part of the practice. And Tom Thibodeau's defensive, he worked with Van Gundy all those years. I think he could help out the Celtics on the defensive side. I'm sure he has made an impact already in week 1.
Looking for Garnett in a sea of white. And he'll stay with the Celtics.
That's an example, though, in transition. There's a sea of white all around Garnett right there. Now, they force the issue there, but with 3 people surrounding him, somebody who's going to be open. You think about all the attention he gets when he isn't even involved in the play.
Well, we've seen how tonight Rondo or Eddie House become really benefactors of the attention that Garnett draws. Look by Pierce is a good one.
He's under control all the time. He slows the game down to his speed, can utilize tremendous ball fakes. He has a good lean back shot that he can always get off. His component that time was contested, and that made a difference. Good job by Pierce defensively.
He likes to spot up and nail those threes. And this is Rajon Rondo.
Run the show well.
Trying to orchestrate this new look Celtics. Pierce forcing the action. And I think it's Capono will get called for the foul.
I like the way Rondo evaluated that nothing was really there initially. And hey, let's just slow it down. Maybe in early offense we can make something happen. He got the ball right to Pierce. Only 21 years old, Rajon Rondo. Ray Allen has done a wonderful job so far in this game, just letting the game come to him. Not letting, that's the thing about this. There's not much ego with Allen and Garnett. And they're all willing to, whoever's got it going.
See if Pierce has it going. Oh! Felt that one coming. All the way from Rome.
Oh, keep a body on that guy.
That's some extra pasta on that one.
Yeah. With everything he does, you forget he's one of the top rebounders in the NBA year in, year out also.
TJ Ford.
There he is again, reaching up. Humphries trying to keep him off, and Garnett's ability to work the glass.
Alessandro Del Piero, the Italian soccer legend, actually visited with the Celtics this week, and he noted that Garnett would make a heck of a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he sure would.
That kind of wingspan.
How about Garnett took the rookies out to buy suits?
He bought Italian suits for the rookies. Well, that makes me... My picking up the lunch tab doesn't look so good anymore, does it? He bought them Italian suits. Got to teach you guys how to dress.
Well, at least he did it in the right place.
Yeah.
Look at Juan Dixon. Again, we talk about this team with scoring options, the Toronto Raptors. It never seems to end when you look at people that can score on those wings for this team. You made a great point. Garnett looks like, listen, the free throw, look like he's having fun, though, out there right now.
He's enjoying it, and he's always ready to play. I mean, you watch him in warm-ups. He's always sweating. He's always pumped up. You get re-energized, too. You make that move. Change is good.
Bosh, neat little spin move. Oh, he was a tremendous pro in Minnesota. It's a good find by Pierce for Leon Poe, but instead, it's going to go the other way.
Expecting guys to shoot the basketball, and when they don't, but again, there seems to be some infectious ball movement by both of these teams. I like the way they're looking for each other. Finding the open man.
Celtics have come back in this one. We're in the final moments of this first half. NBA Europe Live 2007 sellout crowd in Rome. A lot of anticipation for this one as the Raptors can get the final shot of this first half of play, and it has been an entertaining one. TJ Ford wants that shot. Well, maybe the Celtics will get their final shot. Paul Pierce, this would be something if it went, but yes, a little bit off. But these two teams not off really for the first preseason. They put on a good show here in Rome, Italy, and we've seen some flashes of how this Celtics team is going to come together with these new parts.
Well, they did a very good job. You saw Pierce, Allen, and especially Kevin Garnett doing a great job. But hey, the Raptors have played well also. A fun half, and it'll be an excellent second half to stay tuned for.
NBA Europe Live 2007. A sellout crowd, 11,000. It's a hot ticket in Rome at Palo Lona Monica for NBA Europe Live 2007 between the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors, and saw some good ball movement, good offensive displays from both teams in the first half, and probably no surprise maybe where the weakness was for both teams, the defensive end. We're not into that stage of scouting reports as you mentioned in that first half.
Well, you don't have scouting reports, but clearly both of these teams, that's got to be their point of emphasis. I mean, Toronto was an improved defensive team last year. I think Anthony Parker really helped them in that regard, but the Boston Celtics know that both these teams know they have enough offensive firepower. They need to make sure they're doing a good job and really take pride in that defensive side of the floor for a full 48 minutes.
All right, we know a lot of NBA fans curious about a story from Hawaii where the Golden State Warriors training Monte Ellis motionless on the court at practice for about 45 minutes. It's been determined as a neck sprain, and he's okay. He's been walking and laughing, listed as day-to-day. So first, a lot of concern when he went down on Friday, but now Monte Ellis seems to be okay, just no doubt a little bit sore, and it's been diagnosed as a neck sprain, and you no doubt he'll be eager to get back on the floor, and we're all just so glad that it's nothing more serious.
Yeah, it couldn't be any better news than we just recently heard about Monte Ellis.
What a story he was last year as the NBA's most improved player. Really found his way in Don Nelson's system.
A couple of years out of high school, and just has that ability, that scoring ability, and boy, Don Nelson has a knack for bringing out your offensive potential. That's for sure. Your confidence.
NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports, Palo Lona Monica in Rome, Italy. I'm Dave Johnson, along with Tim Capstraw, as we get set for what just been a great icebreaker, great to treat this afternoon to finally have game action in the NBA back, and really seeing two teams that I think we've been anxious to see, as we mentioned, for different reasons. The Raptors had their breakthrough season. The Celtics looking for a breakout season.
There's an important guy right there. It's Mauricio Gherardini, the assistant GM for the Toronto Raptors, and the job he has done assisting Brian Colangelo. Brian Colangelo, a guy that's utilized Europe better than anybody in the NBA in a long time with the additions he's given the Toronto Raptors since he has become the GM. But Gherardini, influential, and obviously with Bargnani, he was with him with Benetton Treviso.
As an executive there.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. And certainly has great knowledge of a lot of these players that played in the European League. Toronto has benefited tremendously from that.
Well, and a big reason why able to improve by 20 wins in just one season, and that's why, you know, all teams now, the scouting, everything is a whole new dimensions opened up.
No doubt. I mean, you talked to Jason Kidd quoted, you know, they're talking about the Nets, and he said, forget about it. No, the Atlantic Division champions, this is from Jason Kidd, are the Toronto Raptors. You know, there's so much talk about the Celtics, and even us, we have to get carried away because it's something new.
Well, it's new. You're excited
you
to see new.
You can't help it. But, you know, and the Nets think they're better in 76. And I'm talking about the Atlantic Division. But right now, I mean, the Raptors are the champions, and they are the guys, and you feel like, you know, it's almost like Rodney Dangerfield not getting any respect. And I think they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and that's something that Sam Mitchell and company can utilize to start off their season. Say, hey, they don't believe who we are. They're talking about the Celtics and everybody else. Hey, we've got something here in this division.
And of course, they had the first-round playoff disappointment. That's another motivation for the Raptors. Is ball. That's a great move. A little jump up.
Well, Chris Bosh not really involved too much in the first half. It was just kind of in the flow, up and down, made a couple plays. But as Sam Mitchell said, he can get enough touches. First possession, get it to him down on the block. Here's the versatility of Pierce. You can post him.
Now Pierce, nice look to the outside for Allen, but it didn't go.
Hey, a lot of space for Ray Allen, and I don't know if you need a scouting report to know you better not help off him much.
PJ Ford trying to make something happen. Rajon Rondo the other way. Ray Allen with space, but not the shot.
Yeah, but that was really good by Rondo there. You see how he pushed the pace, he read the situation, took the air out a little bit, and then set up Allen for a good look as Bargnani, though.
Wow.
Limitless range. Oh, man, it's effortless the way he just strokes the basketball from deep.
Rondo now.
Rondo's kept the game simple, and I think that's huge for him.
I like the way the Celtics, I mean, it's just quick movement. Bing, bing, and they find Garnett. You've got 2 points.
Getting him down on the block. Remember, you used to watch the Timberwolves a lot of times and say, boy, Garnett's got to get the ball on the block more.
Bargnani doesn't get the N1, but good strong move on the baseline.
I like that because he can shoot it so well. He knew that Garnett was closing out. That gives you a great advantage to blow by. And on the catch, Bargnani not avoiding contact that time and wanting to go to the basket.
And again, his hometown Rome, played for Benetton Treviso as he started in the Italian League. He's still getting over the sting of the disappointment of the Italian national team this summer at Eurobasket, but eager to get it going with the Raptors.
No doubt about it. They did not play well, Italy, in that Eurobasket, but Bargnani looks very confident, shooting the ball extremely well. And because he's going to get crowded, Dave, so much in the perimeter, that ability to want to go to the basket, handle that ball and get in there. And again, working Garnett on the block. And he can go either block.
Well, he draws double team there as a result, but in the quick pass, he's got such great recognition. It comes right back to him.
Very good basketball right there. Inside out, and then back to Kevin Garnett. Play through him on the block, play through him anywhere on the floor, but make sure he touches it all the time. Paul Pierce could have shot it, said, I got a good shot, but my partner down below's got a great shot. I'm going to give it to him.
And the Celtics get the lead. Is now a tight ball game here. Just preseason, but it's starting to feel like these two teams really going at it. Hold on, he hit his first couple shots, hasn't found it since. Oh, Pierce, he can create and does.
Yeah, very good control that time. Gave the little half spin out to freeze the defense, and then found his way to get to the basket. He's got the upper body strength to finish in traffic. He is just a great scorer.
Well, Bargnani continues his shooting practice.
That's what it looks like.
Just catch and throw. Turnover against the Celtics. Third quarter action as the Raptors Backcourt violation, I think, of the call against the Celtics.
Good matchup. Bargnani and Garnett going after it, having to different ways to attack. Look at him. Good pass by him that time, Bargnani.
It's well done.
Sure is.
Bargnani and the Bosch involved, and Ford ends up scoring.
This ball movement, this has been fun to watch. Again, a little extracurricular activity that time.
Now, Garnett won't be so popular if that's the wrong person to have extracurricular. His jersey sales will go down.
That is an interesting matchup. The intensity level of this exhibition preseason game hasn't wavered from the opening tip. That's the way that guy likes it, Sam Mitchell. That's why he was in the NBA so long. He played hard.
And as you pointed out, that was a great story on him being a teammate of Kevin Garnett and helping him along in his formative years. So Bargnani will have to sit down with a foul. Bargnani is the 8th most popular jersey in Europe, by the way. Dwayne Wade's #1.
Talking about the injuries, Ray Allen, how is he moving with that ankle issues he had? Remember, both ankles were
Had
operated
surgery.
on.
Yeah, both. Allen getting it back. Oh, Garnett. Now he's going to get a technical.
And he's going to say, somebody was below me right there. I have to be careful. They're close enough.
Now the Romans don't like it.
Take a look. Let's see if there's bodies underneath that Garnett has to be careful of. Maybe a little bit.
Now Bosch was there. Maybe
Was there. Good point. Good point. Regardless, exciting play. Tie score. Good game going on. Garnett's got a ton of minutes. Doc Rivers has kept these guys on the floor. He's getting them in shape and giving them an opportunity. Sam Mitchell's rotated his lineup a little bit more freely. The big three of Pierce, Allen, and Garnett have been on the floor for a lot of minutes so far in this game.
Yeah, the sightseeing tour is over. As Garnett now fouled against Chris Bosch. The steals numbers in this game.
Doc Rivers saying what Charles Barkley used to say, you got a Mercedes, drive it, right? You got a guy like Garnett, get him on the floor. And Pierce and Allen. Space for Capono.
He found it back.
Yeah, he's not going to be pulled too long. Will he get the same type of looks, though? He'll get different types of looks. He won't get as many inside-out three-point attempts now, which are really the easiest ones to shoot, because you can really get your rhythm in your feet correct. But he'll get perimeter ball reversal threes, which are really very similar. You got a lot of those in Miami also.
Nesterovic fouling Pierce. A lot of excitement in Toronto about the addition of Jason Capono. And again, you have another scoring option for this team. I think it's a good point you make that it's different than when you have a Heat team with Shaq camped out.
Yeah, Shaq. But again, I mean, shooters, sometimes that can help to give you maybe a few more looks. But with all those weapons on the floor, he might not get as many open threes because there's other guys to shoot the three. But again, he's another guy you have to stay attached to, and he stretches out the floor and allows for great penetration for Calderon and TJ Ford, because you have to honor these guys' shooting ability on the perimeter so much. TJ Ford's been quiet. Credit Rondo with doing it. We know he can defend. He's done a good job. Ford hasn't really forced the issue.
Bosch lost it as he was trying to get by Garnett. Garnett digging in and quickly calls a timeout. Garnett's feeling it. He's playing like a guy with a new team that says, you know what? I like this jersey. NBA Europe Live 2007. Hello, Lodomatic and Rome, Italy. And look at the intensity here. First preseason game.
From the get-go, both of these teams have played very, very hard. It's been a very entertaining preseason basketball game. And I've really enjoyed is that Well, Kevin Garnett especially. Doc Rivers has kept his guys on the floor.
Well, we've seen actually really the stars for both teams. That's got to be great for the 11,000 that, of course, pay for their tickets and roll.
Well, think about it, though. A lot of NBA teams have a lot of veterans back as, again, that ability of Pierce to come off that high screen and turn the corner before he catches it. But most teams have a lot of returning starters that the coach really knows what he's got. So he can, give a lot of bench guys an opportunity in the preseason game. I think Doc Rivers is smart to play every preseason game because he's got to get these guys to mesh and start well.
Ray Allen's shot didn't go. Now Perkins trying to work on Nesterovic, and he's drawn the foul.
Racho got Kendrick Perkins going the way he wanted to, back away with a fadeaway. That's when you just got to make sure you stay with that principle of verticality and see the lean over the arm. You break the plane to straight plane, and Racho doesn't agree with it. He thinks he got elbowed out of the way, but you cannot lean down with the arms. You got to go straight up. That would have been a difficult shot for Perkins to finish.
Sam Mitchell making his points. You have to get your preseason lobbying down as well, so you're back into regular season form. Look closely at the uniforms of these teams. They've integrated Italian colors. It's on the side of the Raptors jerseys, the green and white and red, and the Celtics cloverleaf on the back of their jerseys. Little Italian flavor as well. Well, win in Rome.
Perkins going to get those huge minutes this year. He's going to get a great opportunity. He's another guy that's got to avoid injury problems.
Ford trying to attack.
That movement again. Ford getting into the teeth. Good extra pass. A good pass.
There's that rebounding of Garnett. He does it all.
The outlet.
Gets the offense going quickly. Pierce drawing attention and worthy of that attention.
So many guys in the NBA, you say that's not a good shot. But Paul Pierce has made a living on backing guys down and then ability to lean back, fade, and stroke the basketball effectively. This Bosch is really quiet in this game.
Well, he's had Garnett to deal with, but that time gets a shot over.
Well, he hasn't gotten as many looks as probably he would like, or I'm sure Sam Mitchell's experimenting with a lot of different looks and options right now. It's certainly a focal point of the defense of the Celtics has to be Bosch. He's the first name you look at every scouting report. Here's Pierce again, the lean back.
He gets that fade going.
Right?
He gets that fade going, and when he feels it, suddenly it seems like he can't find a way to stop him.
Yeah, like Fat Joe, right? Didn't he have a song? That's the extent of my rapper knowledge, but the lean back right there.
I'd let you sing a few bars if we don't have time.
That's where we draw the line.
All right, more coming. NBA Europe Live 2007. NBA Europe Live 2007, Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors. And take a look at where we are at this point so far. Anything in particular stand out to you, Tim?
Well, the guys are shooting the basketball relatively very well. 53% for Toronto, 49% for Boston. First preseason game, and the shots are going down. We've loved the way the teams have really moved the ball and played unselfish basketball. Very entertaining basketball game so far. And to see how it winds down. Again, I'm impressed with the minutes that Doc Rivers is allowing his big three to play. Garbajosa, you got to be careful with his minutes.
Because they're coming off the leg injury happened against Boston last March.
And he played for Spain this summer, and you just got to be careful. He didn't want to give that opportunity up to play with Spain, and it's got one of those situations with a fibula that he may someday have to have surgery.
Well, it was not only that, but the dislocated ankle that went along with it. It was just a terrible injury. Our game summary brought to you by Adidas. As we continue with NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports. Jason Capono, he was fouled by Paul Pierce before we went to break. You're just tuning in and wondering, how's it going with Garnett, Allen, and Pierce? Just fine, thank you, would be the answer. And if you're from the Toronto side, Does this look like the Raptors team that won the Atlantic Division? Yeah, it does so far.
Very, very effective on the offensive side of the floor. Both of these teams. Now who's going to lock down and really get some stops? It's good execution. That right there is Ray Allen set the cross screen. Good entry pass by Rondo. And again, the physicalness, the physicality of Paul Pierce, who goes right through. He's got good size at a good 6'7". Good 225, 230, and was able to just go right through Anthony Parker in that mismatch. A little chess game with Doc Rivers on who he can put on the low block, and that's when the Celtics have looked good, whether it be Garnett or Pierce, utilizing those guys on the block.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything of Pierce's game right now. We've seen these fadeaways, the outside shots, and now on the inside.
Oh, he can, offensive production by Paul Pierce again. You're right. Move him around on the floor because that's what he can do. Different spots, an arsenal of shots.
Now, Ford, the no-look pass he was trying to find Nesterovic. Did it go off a Celtic is the question. Nesterovic didn't seem quite ready for that pass from Ford. And apparently off a Celtic.
7 on the clock. Got to work quick.
Parker. Now go over to the Celtics. Look at the three-point shooting for these two teams. Bargnani, a big contributor to the 7 made by the Toronto Raptors.
Gonna work Pierce again, give him a look. Or gave it up early. Down on the other side, you got Allen popping out. It's a good heck of a combination.
And Allen fouled.
How about option 1? You got Paul Pierce on the block. Option 2, Ray Allen. Right? You got this type of players. Make sure they are getting the looks where they're comfortable. Cross screen for Pierce on the block. Down screen for Allen.
Delfino getting called for the foul. And one of the new players to the Raptors coming over that trade with Detroit for a couple of second-round picks. Allen only shooting 3 of 12 this afternoon, but again, the Celtics getting a player that, as long as he can come back from those surgeries on the ankles, you made a great point, that he just has to get his game legs back, if you will. He's coming off a career high in points.
And the maturity he brings also. I mean, that's the different side of it. You got to go from a real young team. You bring in Garnett, you bring Ray Allen. Just a different environment. Obviously, talent and also maturity. Good finish there by TJ Ford.
A little up and under.
He is clever in his ability to do that. What a finisher. This Parker, good defensive player against the offensive ability of Pierce.
Perkins fouled Pierce, but Delfino the rebound. Now Ford in attack mode. Pierce thought he got it clean, but there'll be a foul and a glare.
Let's give him a look right here. A tough angle right there. I don't know if Violet Palmer got the great look at that. Kind of warded off by TJ Ford, kind of in the way, and Pierce certainly doesn't believe that one.
NBA Europe Live 2007, of course, presented by EA Sports, continues with the Timberwolves playing Efes Pilsen from Istanbul, Turkey. That action begins at 5:30 Eastern Time today. You log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA Europe Live 2007 as the Timberwolves, Raptors, Memphis Grizzlies, and Boston Celtics conduct training camps in Europe. NBA.com bringing you behind-the-scenes access and player blogs from around the world. That's how you know what's really going on.
European, they talk about over 20% of the hits on the NBA.com website are from Europe also.
Perkins, nice rebound.
Well, see, Perkins has got a role now, doesn't he? I mean, he's not going to be a go-to guy, so when shots go up, he knows to get to the glass.
Pierce is drawing the foul, and as a result, Perkins going to get some putbacks. I mean, the pressure's off him.
No doubt. I mean, if you're not one of the big three, if you're the perimeter guy on the floor, you're going to get looks. And if you're the interior guy, you're going to be able to get interior rebounding position.
Make a pretty good living that way.
You can.
Just looked at Doc Rivers. You wonder what he's feeling as a coach now to have this ensemble to work with. He's done a very good job of trying to keep things positive during difficult times in Boston.
Certainly helps. But it's ever coached. You got to have players, that's for sure. Pierce starting to put up the points right now, 21. He's got some talent. Again, I think the key is going to be those other guys. How's the Rondo going to play? How's Rondo going to play at the point guard? How's the bench going to mesh? It can't just be these big three, although they have looked very, very impressive. And they will play a lot of minutes. You've got to get some help.
12 on the shot clock is the Raptors. Ford will reset it with 8 seconds. Bosch right there.
Again, the penetration, though, forces the defense to rotate over, and then there's open alleys for offensive rebounding position. That starts with Ford, and that's why you should just put it up on the glass when guys come rotating over. Extra pass again, movement, and boy, good teamwork. It's a good looks, though, and that's unselfish, talented players working together.
Well, you have to respect Pearson. He kicks it right out to Garnett. Just didn't go that time, but it's going to go.
Bosch, again, is slow getting into this game. Really like the way this guy, Rondo.
Oh, Nesterovic.
Came over, rejection.
In transition. The exclamation.
So much for the quietness of Bosch as he finishes that one strong. But credit Nesterovic with igniting that. Showing up on Rajon Rondo with the rejection.
Perkins tried to force that one. Delfino coming up with the steal. Again, this is set up for Bosch. Garnett, he's got some long arms. Pierce, a little crossover, but didn't lead to a bucket.
Settle down. TJ Ford's played well in this quarter. Raptors are fighting back. This is a competitive game. Guys going at it. Ford trying to be a factor in each possession.
Nesterovic is a big guy, can hit from the outside, but didn't offer it there. Again, we have a 1-point game. Well, smooth comes to mind for some reason.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, elevation comes to mind also, because who's going to block that shot? The way he gathers himself, extends high. And Garnett's the only guy in the NBA that lies down about his height. I mean, he's they list him at 6'11", but he's bigger than some 7'1" guys I've seen.
Ford
getting it going with his penetration ability, then you start laying off, and you can make that shot. That's a heck of a combination in this game. I've seen him dominate for late game situations, TJ Ford. He is sometimes unguardable.
Parker, good help defense.
Yeah, the defense of the Raptors has really gotten right back into this game.
Final minute of the third quarter.
And this guy, Ford,
who finds Bosch just off the mark.
That's training camp legs right there. That's being a little bit tired, and Chris Bosch, who wants to work himself back into the flow of the offense of the Raptors, you know he's going to be there.
Well, fans eager to see Andrea Bargnani come home, and he was eager to please. As a chance to mix and mingle with some fans and give some coveted autographs and some memories as well to some basketball fans in Rome, as Andrea Bargnani picked #1, coming back as the conquering hero, if you will.
Elvis or Bargnani?
I think I meant Bargnani, but that was Elvis.
I was a bit distracted, I must admit. Bargnani's had a busy week. I mean, he's not only had to have practice, he's had to be in autograph sessions. He's been speaking at different events. He's become the face of basketball for Italy and in the NBA right now. It's Garbajosa, Delfino back on the floor.
Work on my Italian translation, see what they say about Elvis in the Italian papers tomorrow. You know that has to play a little differently.
Yeah. Well, Eddie House, he played very well in the first half, back in the point guard position. for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Posey.
And he made his shots this time. Allen.
That was a clever move, wasn't it?
Well,
Into the paint, he goes up with his right, shifts it over to his left. Man, oh man, steady and smooth, Ray Allen.
final seconds of this third quarter, and it's been a fun one as the score reflects.
Calderon ups the high screen and roll in this situation.
Garbajosa's in. Trying to work it on the inside, and Chris Humphries has come in, and they get a 24-second violation. I think there should have been a smidgen of time left on the clock.
Great effort by James Posey, and that's one of the reasons why the Celtics wanted Posey, because his ability to defend the intense. Garnett was outstanding again in the third quarter. Just a pleasure to watch, but we got ourselves a good game.
Final quarter on the way. Well, Sunday on ESPN2, the Toronto Raptors will play Lodomatica Roma live from Rome as part of NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports. All the action beginning at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN2. You can log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA Europe Live 2007. Again, reading at the mayor of Rome. He's going to be there. He's a big basketball fan, big Lodomatica Roma fan. If you're the mayor of Rome, you better be the hometown fan. But
If you're an NBA fan, you're enjoying this game.
well, we go to the final quarter. Scalabrini comes in.
There weren't many changes in this game. Tony Allen gets it off that high screen area and attacks the basket. You're anxious to see what he will do with that coming off that knee injury. Relatively explosive on that play.
Ended his season last January when he was just hitting stride. And this is Chris Humphries. Calderon. Celtics with the 4-point lead. We get Leon Poe in the game. They get the
Celtics, you wonder if maybe that's enough minutes for everybody right now, but because Doc Rivers really played Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett quite a bit as Eddie House knocks it down again, and he shot it well, knocked down three-corner shots in the first half, and again, that's why he's a member of this Celtic team, his ability to shoot the basketball.
He's confident, he's got range, and we said 43% beyond the arc last year.
If he can play, and we talked about this a little bit, Dave, in the first half, if he can back up at the point guard with his shooting ability, you know, can he do that? That would be the huge question, because I think that's going to be an area where the Celtics are going to have concern. They don't have the luxury that the Toronto Raptors have in the best back point guard duo with Calderon and TJ Ford. We just saw Calderon knock that one down.
Oh! Tony Allen says, you know, my knee's feeling okay.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Get a whistle.
Is he okay?
Well,
is he okay?
Maybe I was too premature in that as he came in aggressive, but maybe the landing didn't feel so good.
Certainly the concern right now. Let's see him go up. Tax. Yeah, you're right. I think it was more probably on the landing.
Yeah. Well, you see that brace that he's got.
You know, you never really test it to the extent you really, you never know. And when you come off major injuries, it's about confidence and feeling good about yourself.
Well, hard to see there because he started to run away, looking okay. We really didn't see where he felt the discomfort, but boy, that's got to make you feel a little bit nervous if you're a Celtic fan, because he's going to factor in, or they need him to factor in this season.
Oh, absolutely, and yet you like one thing, he wasn't afraid to test it right there and go after it a little bit. Yet you understand the concern coming off the major knee injury. Tony Allen.
Again, you can log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA training camps and preseason games. We're counting down to NBA Tip-Off 07. It's Tuesday, October 30th. NBA.com, of course, also your home for the NBA Ultimate Fantasy Commissioner. Everything you need to build your fantasy team for the upcoming season. Obviously, Celtics fans feel they've already had that come true in reality with the way we've seen this new look team unveiled today, and we're looking at both ends. We're probably seeing, and I know the New Jersey Nets and other teams will have something to say about this, but this could be a real intriguing battle for that Atlantic Division title.
Exactly. I mean, both of these teams have impressed us. They look like they've played very well together.
Well, Well, there's Tony Allen. We were just talking about it. Had the slam dunk.
Let's see if he returns right now. It's okay, and maybe he just scared himself a little bit.
Now, it was January 13th he had the knee surgery. The last 14 games before that knee injury, he was averaging close to 19 points a game, and then had to shut it down.
Well, he's a guy that the Celtics have to make a decision on too. I mean, are they going to allow him to be a restricted free agent at the end of the year? Paul Pierce has come out publicly to say, hey, sign this guy up. So he has obviously liked the way he's looked so far in the training camp.
Well, he's back out, so that
great sign.
If you're a Celtic fan, that's got to be a sigh of relief. And that's a good point. The first time you're trying something like that, you maybe feel a twinge. It shakes you up a little bit.
I'd like to tell you about my experience dunking the basketball, but didn't look quite the same as Tony Allen.
You're a much better rap lyrics out here. Now, Leon Poe, I think, whistled for a foul. Good look at Chris Humphries. So he's getting extended minutes. 4th year now in the league for Humphries.
Hustle guy, energy guy, active. Really got to play the pick and roll when Calderon and Ford are out there. And pick and pop game becomes so valuable because you got to extend yourself defensively on those terrific point guards.
Well, Humphries, a hustle guy, and his zeal to get the ball back commits a foul. There's James Posey. Yeah, you made the point earlier about him being a glue guy, and I was talking to Gilbert Arenas this week, and he was saying, you could talk about Ray Allen, talk about Kevin Garnett, and he wasn't minimizing him, but he was saying real key to the Celtics, maybe the acquisition of Posey. I'll go back the other way to the Toronto Raptors here in the 4th quarter of this game as we get going with NBA Europe Live 2007.
Not your typical 4th quarter, though, right now. It's preseason. These guys are playing for opportunities right now.
Delfino to Calderon. A little drive and dish.
That's what that's how they play. That's how it makes the Raptors so good. The effective ball movement, the unselfishness, they kick it around. And boy, Calderon is good. I mean, talk about a guy. I mean, they have to make a decision on him at the end of the year, too.
As you said, he's a starting point guard in the backup role.
Nobody called. I don't know if there's a player called on in the offseason more than Jose Calderon as far as potential trades. Every coach or GM in the NBA understands what a talented player he is. Of it being a backup, contact off the ball as Jamario Moon and James Posey get locked up.
Moon, a guy who was trying to find a way to latch on out of a community college in Mississippi.
Huge high school reputation years ago.
Poe can't quite get it to go, and I didn't mean to rhyme there.
It's okay.
And Jamario Moon was trying to find Humphries in the post, so both teams starting to unveil some players we haven't seen as much of in this preseason opener.
Well, we got a great taste of, though, the big three of the Celtics on the floor for an extended minutes for a preseason exhibition game. It was a pleasure. I'd be surprised if they came back now. You get tired, now you get sore. I mean, you get tightened up on the bench. And Doc Rivers has got to give guys a look, as does Sam Mitchell. Sam Mitchell more familiar with his players, a lot of returning players on the floor. Delfino, a new addition.
Oh, he's got to hurry, does Delfino. He's got Calderon as an option. That didn't hit the cylinder.
You put your guy in a bad way like that. When the shot clock winds down.
He really had to do something with it at 3 seconds.
Well, nothing worse than if you're the guy that kind of has to give up the ball and you're the guy receiving the ball with about 1 second left. So you go down the other end of the court and you say, thanks a lot, pal. Yeah. You're not helping my shooting percentage very much.
Thanks for setting me up with somebody in my face. Leon Poe.
Poe's got to pick up some of those minutes. He works it.
Nice adjustment there on the shot.
That Ryan Gomes gave the Celtics. Nobody talks about Ryan Gomes enough, I don't think, how good he was. How about the little jab, quick jab off the dribble there by Calderon. Freezes the defense, makes it go back, and man, he's good.
And just nails it.
What a combination at point guard the Raptors have.
Calderon and TJ Ford.
Yeah, you wonder would they play some together, but you don't see that often. Good backdoor cut and free.
Scalabrine, that was a nifty feed to Eddie House.
Scalabrine, for his years with the Nets, when I used to watch him game in and game out, he's excellent in the Princeton type of offense, and that's what that play reminded me right there.
Which is all about helping your teammates.
They help your teammates and you know, seeing backdoors develop, and good read and react by both of those guys.
Well, the length of James Posey coming into play there, nice deflection. Posey can help you out on. He led the Heat in drawn charges. I mean, he's going to help you defensively.
He can be a great defensive player. You know, conditioning was a factor for him with the Heat. Remember, he was suspended for a few games last year, not being in great shape. And he's committed. He can defend.
Jamario Moon was committed on that shot.
There's Dante Jones. Now, he's got to have an opportunity. Right? Good minutes with the Grizzlies last year, number 12 out there.
Now in his, he's played 5 years now in his 5th year, trying to get into his 5th year. So we look at the Raptors going to their bench again with Maceo Baston, who we've yet to see. This is his first time out on the floor.
He was with Indiana last year, but you can even hear the crowd acknowledge Maceo Baston because he was a EuroLeague star with Maccabi Tel Aviv, along with Anthony Parker on his team. That team was led by Sarunas Jasikevičius. Get up.
Sky, yeah, he snared that one. Oh, nifty dish by Calderon to set up Moon. Now James Posey, nice pass into the corner. Jones couldn't nail it though.
Well, that's Jones's. You know, he's got a defensive reputation. He's a good up-tempo guy. He can finish. He's really athletic, Dante Jones. Shooting has always been the issue for him, whether it be early in his college career at Rutgers, and he ended up at Duke. He's a terrific NBA player, but he's always constantly working on his jumper to make it better. It has improved. In fact, he shot 47% last year, averaging close to 8 points a game with the Grizzlies, but not on that shot.
This is Baston showing his passing ability to Moon. The reverse. Scalabrine, though, got in there. And a blow will belong to the Celtics.
Mario Moon is one of those guys, and you just watching, right? He glides up. His elevation, he is shockingly athletic.
Yeah, it was off Moon. And one of those players where a game like this or this camp is so it's all his.
Oh, he's
everything
about,
to him.
He's about the NBA Development League right now. I mean, he played there last year, and he may or may not make this team. He probably won't, but he has got some talent. Just your initial impression. You know, we only watched him 3-4 minutes, but you see him glide up and down the floor, how easily he gets up in the air, and some guys make that type of initial impression, and it sticks with you.
Leon Poe going to the free throw line.
About a hard-working, industrious type of player. Just grinds it out down on the block. You probably can't make a living with him as a starter, but he's a guy that will hang around this NBA for quite a long time.
Well, and you need somebody to carry the lunch pail on this Celtics team.
That's exactly what he is.
Now in his second season from California, played in 63 games last year.
Again, he's going to have to be a guy. I mean, you're not going to be able to play, you know, the big three that we talk about with the Celtics. They're not going to be able to play 42 minutes a game. You got to be careful. A long season, and guys like are going to have to be important.
Baston couldn't quite control it. The Celtics a chance here in transition, and he finishes well from Eddie House.
Excellent job by House that time, and knowing that the defense was running behind him to get to the other side of the rim and negate the shot block attempt.
Well, Moon well set up there.
Excellent job. Good kick out pass by Calderon, and again, we like the way he looks. Again, the amount of wings, though, on this team. Oftentimes, though, in training camp, just like in Summer League, you're auditioning for every team in the NBA.
Auditions you said for every team in the NBA. And the D-League now is coming to play. Often you'll see a guy go back to the D-League, and a couple years later, he's in a team's plans. In our plans now, more of NBA Europe Live 2007 on the way. This is not Rome. We're looking at Istanbul, Turkey, and Corey Brewer taking time out from the rigors of European preseason training to meet with some of the fans in Istanbul. Yes, again, we talk about the explosion of interest in NBA basketball in Europe. Turkey is part of that NBA community that is just taking a hold of NBA basketball. In fact, on the way, we have a game between Efes Pilsen and the Minnesota Timberwolves later on NBA TV, as a sellout crowd will be on hand for that one, as they're excited about basketball again, just really throughout Europe. As we've talked about, some of the numbers just blow you out of the water about the sales, the merchandise going up 40%, but also, you know, that the television audience is up 33% in Europe for NBA basketball. So Saturday evening in Rome, this is a very hot ticket sellout crowd, and they've been treated to a show.
Well, the familiarity with the different players is what surprises you also. You know what I mean? The ovations that every player got, and the amount of jersey sales that are throughout the country. This guy, Kevin Garnett, I mean, obviously an enormous ovation. And
I didn't have an audience meter, but I think it was right there with Bargnani's ovation. So, well, in transition, as Bastic couldn't convert, the Celtics come up. And we have seen the stars of Dante Jones trying to make it happen, or call to go against the Celtics. Raptors ball.
You think about the numbers, the numbers crunch for the Celts now. You got guys like Esteban Batista, Dante Jones, Jackie Manuel, Brandon Walsh. And there's 4 guys probably going for 2 spots. You'd think that Dante Jones would have an upper hand with making this team because of his NBA experience.
Moon, and the rookie from the community college in Mississippi. Nice no-look pass to Leon Poe, and he obliges with the basket.
Excellent job running the floor. Eddie House. Good job at the point guard position in this game anyways.
Now we're going to get an offensive foul called as James Posey, did I say he led the Heat last year in charges drawn? We just saw an example there.
Anticipation. Just having a great feel for the game. Gabe Pruitt on the floor right here. Hurt his ankle this week, but
we weren't sure we're going to see him today. And a second round pick, 32nd overall out of USC.
The ball just continues to move.
Posey. He can hit that shot.
Both of these teams, fun to watch them move it.
Oh, Moon, that's a hustle play.
There's my guy again. And Juan Dixon misses it, and Jamario Moon effortlessly elevating, tipping it.
Well, and he's obviously hearing you because, or feeling it, because then on the other end, he gets it done.
Hey, first impressions, right?
Look at Joey Graham now, going to come into the game.
Sam Mitchell he doesn't care about your reputation. He just wants it. And who would know better than Sam Mitchell? You know, he's a guy that had no reputation coming out of college and lasted so many years in the NBA. So he doesn't want to hear about your rep. He wants to hear about your game, as Glenn Big Baby Davis that time. Not quite as big.
Well, he lost 40 pounds before the draft, and some believe that concern about the weight was the reason why. Talking about a second rounder instead of a first rounder.
Maybe if he had left his prior season, he would have probably gone higher. But he looked good in the summer league. We had some games of his in the NBA summer league, and I was impressed with Glenn Davis. He's a very good passer, also.
Aston working it back out front. Calderon a little bit short. Jackson working hard. Davis.
Excellent job in traffic.
Celtics with a 5-point lead.
Posey running that Pierce play on the block.
Good defense where they collapsed on him, and Jackson comes up, and Luke Jackson in the game. And oh boy, what a feed by Jackson to Graham.
Talk about threading it that time. Luke Jackson, beautiful delivery. First of all, the defense with the strip on Posey, then he pushes the pace and delivers it perfectly on the other end.
Jackson denied.
Here he is right here.
And then started it and finished it, or helped finish it.
Takes it away. Beautiful chest pass and transition. Joey Graham finish.
Now this Raptors team, as we take a look at some of the numbers from this game tonight. Back with more of it in just a moment. Dave Johnson, Tim Straw back with NBA Europe Live 2007. Paolo Lodomatica in Rome, Italy is the place for this encounter between the Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics. As we said from the start, what an icebreaker to the preseason. You see a new-look Celtics team against a Raptors team trying to build on their success of last year. And we've seen good indications from both teams so far. Now we're seeing some players that won't get as much playing time in the regular season getting a chance to show their wares. But players that will factor in, though.
Very, very much so. I mean, certainly both of these teams, the Celtics, seem to be important for them to build a bench. And how about Big Baby that time? Wheeling and dealing.
He became the man on that play. Davis has come up with a big rebound at one end, and the rookie tried to show his wares. This is Luke Jackson with the ball, going to whistle off the ball. Might be a foul against the Raptors.
Eddie House, and look at Big Baby right there. Glenn Davis, and he goes to the offhand right there, the left hand, and softly puts it in.
Joey Graham trying to bait the referees into a call he didn't get.
Well, one thing you could really see on display right there is that Glenn Davis has unbelievable feet. He has great feet for a big man.
House has enjoyed his shooting this afternoon. Didn't get that one to go. This is Juan Dixon, a guy who can also shoot it up. And Baston, a little stutter step there. It's called.
The point of emphasis. That back foot's got to stay down when you take the ball out of your hand. Keep your pivot foot.
Been consistent about that call this
afternoon. Sure. Well, it is. You see that so often in the NBA. It's a point of emphasis. They want to make their point in the preseason. Good pass by Scalabrine.
Well, he's been effective with that this afternoon. Brandon Wallace just in the game, the rookie from South Carolina, with the finish.
Scalabrine kind of gave a little pump fake look away like a quarterback and then threw it directly down through the teeth of the defense.
Saying so that's come from his Princeton offense experience in New Jersey?
A heck of a passer.
Juan Dixon, heck of an outside shooter, but he found a home inside there. This is Gabe Pruitt, and Dixon, the pressure on Pruitt. And the bucket as well.
Juan Dixon trying to put the Raptors on his back in the last couple possessions. Doing it.
We got a tight ball game here.
Offensively and defensively, with the ball pressure he can put on the ball. This Celtic team now, psychologically, I just think it's important for teams to win games, regardless of it being preseason or exhibition. Celtics want to play around.
Scalabrine. Dixon sky for the rebound. Yeah, you can only, we say it's only preseason, but yeah, you want to get in a winning frame of mind no matter who's on the floor. Baston did a good job to keep that alive. That's a hustle play right there.
Raptors with another opportunity. Good pass by Dixon.
And the finish by Baston. Oh! Somebody opened the door in the arena. 3-point Celtic lead.
Execution. You don't really have your go-to guys on the floor. The calls are a little bit tougher for Doc Rivers right now.
Well, this is a great game experience situation for these players.
Exactly.
Gabe Pruitt, the rookie. And the clock, not their friend. Well, a chance to do some coaching here as well.
Exactly, do some teaching. That guy Juan Dixon scoring and stealing.
Give him an open three. He'll take it to tie the game.
Cut it from a 7-point deficit to a 3. Juan Dixon. Again, kind of a forgotten man. He wants to prove he can help.
Had some great years at Washington, of course, going to Portland, and now Jackson. The wide open look. At 30 seconds left, the Celtics hold on to that 3-point lead. Pruitt facing the double team.
Puts it up over half court. That's what he had to do. Call timeout. It's a dangerous area. Doc Rivers wants to get some instruction with his young team right now on the floor. Look at him.
Well, again, as we said, Neither coach is thinking, well, it's only a preseason game, let's get on the bus and move on. This is a great instruction thing that you can't just always create in practice to be in a game situation like this in preseason.
Exactly. In the game, the rules are just different. Young players, rookies have to adapt to different rules in the late game situations, timeout situations, understand what the coach wants in each possession, and it's a great opportunity to work on it. You can work on it in practice, but you're right, you can only really simulate it in a game.
It's the real thing. Speaking of which, NBA Europe Live 2007, presented by EA Sports, will continue later today as the Minnesota Timberwolves play Efes Pilsen from Istanbul, Turkey. That action begins at 5:30 Eastern Time. You can log on to NBA.com for complete coverage of NBA Europe Live 2007. The Timberwolves and Toronto Raptors, Memphis Grizzlies, and Boston Celtics conduct training camps in Europe. NBA.com bringing you behind-the-scenes access and also player blogs from around the world. It's been kind of fun to log on to NBA.com and see how some of the NBA players are enjoying their time in Europe. And you gather it's been a busy time trying to mix both pleasure and work, because it's serious time also, these training camp practices.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, there's some opportunities to do a bit of sightseeing here and there, and obviously some great restaurants for these teams to enjoy the cuisine, but hey, it's work. It's training camp right now, and this is all business.
Now look at the numbers that's made up the business this afternoon. For these two teams, anything jump out?
Well, just that both teams shot the ball. They're shooting the ball well throughout this game. Opening game of preseason, they've knocked it down. The Celtics struggled from three-point land, but both teams, from 49% for the Celtics, 52% for the Raptors. That's good quality shooting, but that's the result, again, of the ability to move the basketball that we really enjoyed watching throughout this game.
It's a undrafted rookie, Brandon Wallace, to inbound the ball for the Celtics. We got a three-point game. Clint Davis, the pass for Scalabrine. Uh-oh, he's made a mistake on the line.
Again, you see that a lot. They shuffle their feet back.
So I saw that play work, though, for Scalabrine in a Celtics game against the Wizards a couple years. He can nail that shot.
He can make big shots like that. Glenn Davis made a good pass that time and a good decision. Now it's time for Sam Mitchell to work on some end-of-game strategy. Down 3.
Well, he certainly has some scoring options on the floor, even with this unit.
Exactly. But certainly they'll take a 3 if it's open to them, and that's the way they like to play. But there's a lot of options right now for Sam Mitchell. Doesn't necessarily have to go that route.
Tell you what, as we look at Chris Bosh, I was just thinking about Clint Davis, his brief time in there. He showed a lot. Nice post move, big rebound. There was a nice pass there to find Scalabrine.
The versatility in his game, it's impressive. He can handle the ball. He passes it well. He's so right. We saw the good footwork, as you see. Like Doc Rivers, but Tom Thibodeau, I think, is going to be a very valuable assistant. They have a very good staff. Kevin Eastman.
And that's help on the defensive end, as you were talking about.
Yeah,
Thibodeau.
I think he can help. I think he's been with Van Gundy a lot of years, and they've traditionally always been one of the best defensive teams. Jeff Van Gundy, I'm talking about, in the NBA.
You know, give credit again to Sam Mitchell. I think some people may forget just what a tough start it was with the injuries they dealt with the first couple of months of last season, and to come out of that season with 47 wins. It's not easy to turn things around in an NBA season to that degree.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. 22 seconds.
This is the go-to guys in this situation. On Dixon, he brought him back.
Now Dixon, Baston battling for it, and I think he put it off a Celtic. Baston, I think, put it off Dante Jones, so it's going to stay with the Raptors. Dixon, as they're going for the 2-for-1, Dixon not afraid to take that little jumper, and he can make that more often than he misses. Luke Jackson on the inbound. 13 seconds left. What do you go for? The 3. Dixon does. Baston showing the hustle, battling for. We're going to get a foul on Luke Jackson, and the Celtics look like they can secure victory this evening in Rome, Italy.
Got an opportunity right now to just put it away. He's got to make your free throws.
Well, Doc Rivers giving a chance to instruct a guy. He's going to be working a lot with Gabe Pruitt. The young rookie, well, they had Dixon for a 14-footer. That's a good option.
He would be the guy. I mean, again, Juan Dixon did such a great job when they were down 7 with about 2 minutes to go, scoring the ball, stealing the ball, scoring again, and made competitive game, but Pruitt's got to make the shot.
Missed the first free throw. After Dixon missed the 14-footer, got another look from beyond the arc.
These rookies will understand how long 6 seconds is in the NBA because of the ability to advance the ball.
Well, that's a big free throw.
Sure is.
6 seconds left. And the Celtics holding on to a 4-point lead. And if you're just tuning in and wondering, wait a minute, how did the whole Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce experiment day one work? Yeah, it's more than an experiment. It clearly shows signs these guys enjoy playing to each other. And we're going to come back with more with NBA Europe Live 2007 in just a moment. Dave Johnson, Tim Capstraw back with NBA Europe Live 2007. Closing seconds of what has been an enjoyable game between the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors, and it's finishing with a little drama in this preseason opener with the Celtics. A 4-point advantage, Raptors with the ball.
Been a good show, Dave, this entire game. Garnett and company, the Raptors, both teams competing at a very, very high level. You saw the intensity from the get-go. It's very high.
Luke Jackson, the quick inbound to Moon for three. Baston keeping it alive. The seconds tick away, that'll do it. The Celtics emerge victorious 89-85 over the Toronto Raptors in this preseason opener in NBA Europe Live 2007, and indeed treated to a little bit of everything this afternoon. The Stars showed up to, and you see there Kevin Garnett and Sam Mitchell, as you mentioned, teammates.
A relationship. Then Kevin Garnett entered the NBA with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sam Mitchell was there. He was a mentor to him. And nice to see Bargnani played well when he was on the floor, shot the ball well. Impressed that the Raptors are going to be there. There's no doubt about it. But the storyline of this game was to get your first view of the big three. And Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and especially Kevin Garnett looked like they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, we saw some terrific ball movement from them, and I think that's the impression we take away. Kevin Garnett, some terrific passes from the post to set up players for outside shots.
And it becomes contagious, especially when your stars are willing to move the ball. Everybody wants to move it, and I thought they got quality point guard play from Rondo. I thought he did a good job. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him to run the show and do a good job. I thought Rajon Rondo did a good job.
Yeah, of course, he can contribute defensively. We saw some other good things from him this afternoon. And as they also look at who's going to back him up, Eddie House had a lot of time today for the Boston Celtics. And for this Toronto Raptors team, had the first look at Jason Capono as he gets integrated with that team and how his game may change a little bit in terms of the type of shots he gets, but he's going to still make those three-pointers.
A lot of wing talent on this Raptor team, right? They got depth at the point guard, incredible depth with Ford and Calderon. On the wings, they got Capono, they got Anthony Parker, they got Carlos Delfino. It goes on. They got a lot of players they can shuffle in and out of their lineup. Even Juan Dixon we saw late in that game, and there's just a lot of different bodies. And Sam Mitchell has the luxury of going deep into the bench. You see some of the stats right now.
Well, they shot the ball well today, these two teams.
They did. Well, the Celtics struggled from the three-point line, but you sense they're going to get a lot of looks that way because the teams are going to converge deep onto Kevin Garnett, and his willingness to move the basketball is going to result in a lot of open looks.
We're getting the open looks this evening in Rome before a sellout crowd, 11,000 on hand for this one as they get going with NBA Europe Live 2007. More to come from Rome, Italy this weekend as well. But for both the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors, as we mentioned, some encouraging signs, and also they're monitoring players coming back from injury. We briefly saw Tony Allen for the Boston Celtics. Two players coming back from serious injuries, Allen and Garbajosa for Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, and I tell you what, there's a lot of guys that have minor injuries you got to be careful of, including Chris Bosh, that had a heel problem. You got Garnett was spectacular when he got his touches. Bargnani effortless from the perimeter. TJ Ford, well, when he knocks him down, forget about it. The guys were just flying. They were hustling.
Well, that's that intensity you're talking about.
Exactly. Just a lot of fun. Look at Paul Pierce. Think he's into the whole situation right now? I think so. And just a lot of effort and intensity and a lot of fun. The enthusiasm for basketball in Europe is obvious the way this crowd enjoyed this game.
What an icebreaker. We have broken the ice. NBA Europe Live 2007 from Rome, Italy. The Boston Celtics victorious over the Toronto Raptors. For Tim Capstraw, I'm Dave Johnson. For all of us at NBA TV, have a good weekend, everyone.